Ow. Alright guys, for today's video, hopefully you're not getting washed out, but maybe we'll have to close the garage door. But as you can see here, back in the Z, 3rd gen Camaros and Firebirds, the I guess the trim guide for the seatbelt here, they have a propensity to break. So if you don't know about these things, they are captive to the actual whole seatbelt assembly. There's little tabs here and on the back sides that are meant to kind of pinch the retractor up here. Let me see where you are. Yeah, this black thing, the retractor here. There's little slots around it that this is supposed to go up and slide up on and snap in, grab, and hold. That's all well and good until they get old and they break. And like I said, they are captive. So really two options you have are, and what the most common option is you would just kind of cut this off. And then someone sells, you can probably find a Classic Industries or something, is they just sell like kind of a version like this that has like where one side, the back side here, has a slot in it. So you just kind of slide it over the seatbelt, put it up in there and snap it in, and you're good to go if you don't care about the slot. The other option you would have would be to just replace the entire seatbelt assembly, which these seatbelts aren't exactly clean or anything. You know, they are 42 years old at this point in time. That's another option you have, but what I'm going to do, at least what I'm going to try to do, is I'm going to try and fix these. Well, I'm going to try and replace tabs here and reattach this without, replacing this piece and cutting off wherever. Future plans for the car, won't be keeping these belts. I plan on putting like in a little bit of a cage here, and I'll switch over to harnesses, and these belts will go away, which is good because I have a fiberglass headliner shell up here, which I would just, am I blocking the microphone? Which I would just fill in the hole over here, go over fiberglass it, and then redo the headliner material. As you can see, like every car, the headliner just wears off in these, and I have not replaced it because, like I said, I would just be removing it just to replace it again to do all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my MacGyver on. And MacGyver was my favorite show growing up as a kid. I loved it. Kind of got me into doing things how I do things nowadays, I think, most of the time. But I have this. I went through the recycling bin and I found an old coat hanger. And this coat hanger here has notches here that appear to be the same size as what would be needed to snap up into that retainer up there. So I have this, I have some epoxy, I have something to mix it up on, and my plan is I'm going to take this section of the coat hanger here, I'm going to measure it as much as I can using a pair of my calipers up here, which is one of the most underrated tools you can have for your garage. I'm going to make 3 little tabs because there's one on the front side, a bigger one here, and then there are 2 on the back side, there and there, and I'm going to try and remake these tabs and replace it and get this thing back up and snap the bin there. So first and foremost, I'm going to measure this. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see what I'm doing on camera, but I'm going to measure it and cut these tabs out. All right, let's do that. Okay, I kind of tried to get up close and show you how I marked it using the expandable ends of the calipers. They're very sharp, so I can scratch it. So what I have here is, oh, where's my finger? There is the big tab on the front, and there's the 2 small tabs on the backhand side. Obviously, these are going to go up. With that being said, there's a ledge on this side, and there's also the ledge on this side. So I need to cut off this back ledge here so that there's only a hook on one side, so it'll actually fit up in there. And then I also have to cut along the bottom here for the size of the tab. What I'm going to use for that is my oscillating tool with the semicircle blade on it, and this should cut right through this no problem. I think I'm going to attack the back ledge on this first, get that out of the way, and then go and cut these tabs out. And there you go. There are the tabs. I'll just hit them with a little bit of sandpaper to get them kind of cleaned up. So they are kind of attaching better. Well, at least not as ugly, but we're not going to see it. So there you go. There's 3 tabs. Let's get these cleaned up. Okay, now we're on to what's going to be the trickiest part. And that is getting these tabs here and epoxied in place. I'm using clear epoxy right now because that's just what I have right there. I could use any sort of epoxy. But this stuff is also supposed to set in 5 minutes. So that is a selling point for this, because it's kind of going to be sitting here and trying to like hold on to it till it's solid enough to be able to let go and let it cure. Now the front side here, I'm going to do it first because it's right there, obviously, and it'll be easiest. But then the back side one is going to be a pain in the ass because, you know, the way the seat belt's going over, so I'll probably have to pull that over, flip it around, and kind of lock it in place with some vice grips or something. As you see, I got some tape here. I couldn't find my painter's tape, so I wasted some Gorilla tape on this just to keep the epoxy off of the belt itself. So I got my epoxy mixed up here. Gonna shellac this whole area with it. And since this takes 5 minutes supposedly to cure, I'm going to mix up a new batch every time. Of course I did too much, but as they always say, overkill is underrated. So there. Hey, little lady. That. And we're just gonna kind of hold that in place. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I will do this on the front side, and then I'll repeat it on the back side, and we'll come back and try and install it once it's cured enough. Okay, as you can see, I got this clamped up here drying. I got that side in, those sides in here. It looks nasty, and I gotta admit, right now, my confidence level is fairly low about this working. Not so much this side. I think this side's good. But these sides here is such a pain in the ass to get to from the way the seatbelt was flopping over. Right now I got it in good position, but up until this point I've been struggling. So you see I used some pieces of tape, Scotch tape, to try and hold it in place, and I put ample amounts of epoxy on there, and I'm going to let it cure for a good bit more than this 5 minutes. And then when that's ready, we'll try and pop it up in there and see what the actual outcome is. Whether it's a good job or a epic fail. We're going to find out. Okay. I'm probably rushing this up a little bit, but it's hot. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of sitting around waiting. I should probably wait for the morning, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to try it now and see if it works. I went ahead and I removed the sail panel out of the way. It's just a Phillips head screwdriver. You take off the coat hook, pull it out of the way, and then you just lift up on the panel, it slides right out. I got a video on how to change out these speakers if you need to know that. So, okay, so right now, and I wanted to take the sail panel out because over here on this side, you can see how it goes underneath the sail panel. And I want to give myself every bit of a chance I can at this actually working. So I'm not having to fight that little tab going in there. So I'm doing this one-handed again though, which is making it more difficult on me. I'm getting all my excuses out of the way right now. So let's try this. Get back there. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, get up. Is it going to grab? It's kind of hard to tell because I'm at an angle here. So. that appears. Let me push this tab from this side with my screwdriver. If I can find my screwdriver. Where's my screwdriver? There it is. Well, is it in there? Yes. Is it holding? Yes. Is it going to last? Probably not. But it's up in there. And it has attached. It didn't snap on. What probably happened is I probably cut, or so when the tab broke off, there's like a little bit of a ledge left on it. And I was trying to add on to that ledge. So it could have either, I know on the backside, one of them slipped off that ledge, so it was sitting a little lower. So the tab itself probably wasn't as high as it needs to be, but it is up in there and holding. So kind of fixed, kind of not. This will definitely help it. Put this on back on here. And that will help hold that base up in place a little bit. So, is this a success? Maybe a little bit. There we go. I mean, it's holding. Is it as solid as it was originally? No, but I also made it out of a coat hanger and some epoxy. So we'll see how this holds on. And like I said, this isn't going to be a permanent fix for me. This is just, I'm tired of this thing bouncing around and rattling. So when this falls back down again, I'm just going to cut it off and get rid of it altogether until I put a cage in here and put on harnesses. So as of right now, there you go. It's fixed. So we'll go with that being a success. So cue the music. Okay, guys. Yeah, so it was just a little MacGyver video to see what I can do with what I had, to see if I could save this little piece. I could probably do it. I could probably make it better using different plastics, but I just want to see what I can do. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. If you want to try to give this a shot, go ahead. Let me know if it works out for you. But like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I will see you next time. Later.